We all recall how President Trump ran this last campaign. He acted as though Americans were not sufficiently safe and secure. He pointed the finger at a lot of outsiders, didn't actually look at the apparatus he was going to be managing himself. And what has happened in the wake of just the last few months of his presidency is that there is overall a culture of chaos. This is new reporting from the New York Times just today. In just 3 months in office, Hegseth has produced a run of chaos that is unmatched in the recent history of the Defense Department. Mr. Hegseth's inner circle of close advisors, military veterans who, like him, had little experience running large, complex organizations, is in shambles. The discord, according to current and former defense officials, includes screaming matches in his inner office among aides, a growing distrust of the thousands of military and civilian personnel who staff the building, and bureaucratic logjams that have slowed down progress on some of President Trump's key priorities. If this is how the Defense Department is being run, how then can service members have faith in its leadership? Well,
they can't right now. And look, Pete Hegseth should never have been in the position from the beginning, as you all mentioned earlier. He was not qualified. And I really feel like somebody who's not qualified could possibly muddle through if they had an ounce of humility. They could listen to their aides. They could listen to longtime military officers. You know, that's not Pete Hegseth. He is very arrogant. His aides told him, don't do this. He did it anyway. And that in and of itself is a recipe for national security disaster. And that is what people in the Pentagon see.
You know, one of the things that the Trump administration has disdained, because the president disdained it, is experience running a bureaucracy. In the private sector, you would never make someone the CEO of Google who's never managed more than 20 people. There are 2.1 million people in the military. It's one of the largest bureaucracies in the world. Pete Hegseth mismanaged entities that had 20 people in it. And the fact that people don't realize that's a skill. That's a hard-earned and hard-won skill, and that's what you have to look for in people to run bureaucracies, and they just disregarded that.
Well, no, they're busy running DOJ and running bureaucracies into the ground because they have, I mean, you see what they do with the Social Security Department. They don't care about how things work because they think it is in their best interest to break it. I keep thinking, Amy, with all of these government departments and government agencies, we are currently watching the undoing. We are watching the departure of people with expertise. We are watching a loss of faith in the institution among those who look to its leadership. Let's say, just for argument's sake, that Pete Hegseth were to resign tomorrow and it were no longer a question of Pete Hegseth's leadership. What would it require to rebuild what it is he has already deconstructed and lost at his department?
Well, I think that depends on who would be nominated next. Somebody that is qualified would go a long way to rebuilding that trust. However, it's there. I mean, look, Pete Hegseth has spent the first 3 months here banning books from the Naval Academy and from the other academies. He's done stupid things like rename bases for Confederates. He hasn't been focused on what our country needs to be focused on. And quite frankly, it's a distraction to the Defense Department and to the military right now. He is a distraction to those men and women who are trying to protect this country. And honestly, if he was patriotic, he would resign at this point.